Alan doesn't know anything about this. This is a surprise interview. A surprise interview. And I'm doing this for a very specific reason that I will explain. So get ready for this surprise interview when you learn who it is who's being interviewed. Let's go. Alan, are you ready for this?
Yes.
You've been begging me to respond all morning.
Yeah. By the way, you had told me this at one point, and I forgot, and so I know what's going on.
Oh no! Welcome to the show, Hudson Chen.
Hello.
Chen. Hey, Hudson, how you doing today?
I'm good, Chris. Thank you for inviting me to your show.
Yeah, and I'll tell you why I'm doing this. One, I admire your spunk, your boldness.
Really?
You reached out to me with an email and you said you're a student at Pasadena Community College, PCC. Is that right?
Correct.
And what are you studying?
I started off as a history major, but as I got more into movies, maybe not modern movies, but older movies, I learned that I really, really like film history and just movies as a whole, filmmaking. And I'm currently considering becoming a film student.
Wow. Okay. So that's, by the way, I could walk to PCC from my place.
I hope I can meet you someday in real life.
Well, there's the McDonald's.
It's not that great. It's not all that great.
But
and by the way, for the chat, no, this is not my son. So
we look related.
I know we do.
Yeah. But look, I'm a very busy guy. And when you said you wanted to interview me, my first thought was, I don't want to do it. And then I thought, how can we make this fun? I would like to meet one of the students that is considering studying film, and you can live together. There's about 2,000 people watching us live. You can ask me your questions. I'll endeavor to answer. Alan may have some great things to add, right, Alan?
Sure.
Yeah, so, it's going to be a bit of a Q&A, if anything, for me.
Well, it'll be a Q&A, but a chance to meet students and find out what your opinions are, and you'll maybe get some info from myself. Because look, the way things have gone today with getting Tom Hanks and Tom Cruise wrong, screwing up a quote from Alfred Hitchcock, I'm considering...
Or getting the plot of a movie completely incorrect.
Because I went to the bathroom. It wasn't the plot, one plot point. I'm considering quitting YouTube. Today was a bad day for me. I really did not like today.
It's okay. We're all humans at the end of the day. It happens.
Well, thank you for that. I appreciate it. So let's do this. Let's do this, Hudson. And it's good to meet you. Surprise interview by student Hudson Chen. And look, so you're considering film.
Yeah.
But at least you don't want to be an influencer.
I'm open to the idea, but even right now, speaking with you, I'm very nervous on the camera.
You are? You seem fine. You seem fine.
You're
doing great. You're doing great.
It's my first time.
Well, look, just be yourself. Don't care what other people think. Even when you get facts wrong, fuck them. That's what I say.
Don't forget mispronouncing Nona's.
Nona's. Yeah, there was like 4. Hey, the thing is, I do not mind being corrected by the chat. Yes, I misspoke. I like to be. Also, I don't know everything. Did I know the drag queen character from Ironheart was actually from the comics? I didn't know that. I didn't know that she was from the comics. So I like learning things. I like, but maybe I do get a little tired with the whole, but actually, it's like, all right, suspense, tension, whatever. I even qualified that I would get the quote wrong before I said the quote. So,
but you were right on what he was trying to say.
Yeah, it's like the crux of the idea. There's jump scares and suspense scares. Whatever. We won't. But Hudson, please kick it off. And I think you've got Alan Ng here. I think Alan could add to this and maybe help you out your interview. So
that's good. Yeah.
Are you ready, Hudson? And I can say this: the chat loves you, and they are look, you've got comments. This isn't the Hudson Chen from the TV series 911 and Little America, says Aid Ellis 24. The chat is loving you. The chat is loving you.
Thank you.
By the way, how many Hudson Chens are there in the world? Have you ever looked it up?
I have not. Maybe like 2, I would guess.
Yeah. There's at least a dozen Alan Ngs you can Google right now.
Oh God, the chat's I love the chat right now. I love the chat. This is great. Okay, Hudson, fire away.
All right. My first question for you, I have a list in front of me. My first question for you, Chris, is that you have a pretty, at least to me, you have a decent following on YouTube, at least in film review circles. I see your videos all the time on the platform, and of course what you do for Film Threat. What are some other work that you are involved with regarding electronic media?
Well, I make films. I'm working on some films right now. So I made a documentary called Attack of the Doc. I am working on another documentary that I've been working on for like a decade. I executive produced a documentary that just finished, and I'm trying to sell it right now. I wish I could show a trailer for it, but it's a documentary about media in the early 90s, about a TV show called Buzz. So that's what I filmmaking is my focus on that. So outside of doing YouTube, it's filmmaking.
You're a director, right?
I have directed some projects, yes, but I consider myself a filmmaker, and what that entails, which is when you're an indie filmmaker, it's producing, directing, writing in some form, if not writing the whole script, participating in a script. So, I make films and I do YouTube because I really love talking to an audience. I appreciate this audience as much as I say, like, I'm annoyed that, look, I like to be perfect. Alan will.
Yeah, you do.
And no one is. And so when I do appreciate getting corrections or expanded knowledge from the chat. I love that. It's like having a fact checker while you're writing something. So, but yeah, make films, social media. I really don't pay all that much attention to. I'm not huge on social media. I think it's a time suck. So I'm very purposeful with social media. And that's a really long-winded answer to tell you. Okay. I make films and do YouTube.
That's sounds really, really fun. Would you even consider it as a job?
It's not a job for me because it's doing something I love. More than anything, I do love, in particular, there was someone in the chat that disagreed with me about Andor earlier. I love it because my philosophy is I'm not right. I am one person with an opinion. And I guarantee in the Venn diagram of our opinions about things, we will not fully line up. No one does. So I like hearing, what did you see in that movie that I did not see? And I've looked at movies differently after looking at someone else's opinion. I hope to sway others to see what I saw in the film. I like horror films. I tried to convince my colleague Alan Ng to go see the new Final Destination movie. He did not. He refused. I still think you would like it, Alan.
No.
It's very clever and funny.
No, but I've seen enough of it.
But and I consider everyone's opinion. I'm like, oh, that's interesting. I didn't see it that way. It was another YouTuber, Mauler, that maybe kind of look at Andor differently. I began to appreciate it more. I still hold it's not worth a 20-hour story. It's like a 6 hours of story over 20 hours, but that's a whole discussion.
That's also how I feel about television shows. That's why I don't watch too many.
Yeah.
I agree with the opinion that you had on making it into films, because I would sit through them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's just be open to other people's experiences and other opinions, and you'll do great. The worst thing is when I have dealt with people like this. I'm thinking of a very specific person right now who thinks that only their opinion is the right one.
I think a part of it is also how you present the opinion, right?
Right. I'm looking to open your mind, not change it, because my opinion does not invalidate your opinion. Does that make sense?
Absolutely, yeah.
And I feel that there's a weird, especially with young people, which I see you kind of have a little bit of facial hair.
Yeah.
So you're young. You're a young man.
Correct. And, I'm only 22.
Yeah. Well, there you go. You're a baby, in my opinion.
And that's how my beard looked when I was 22.
And but the point is that I see a sad exchanges on social media where people think that someone else's opinion means they are wrong, and there's this desire to be like, I'm right, I want to be right, and that's not the best way to be. It's like, just be open, and my opinion does not invalidate yours, and I subscribe to that. Why'd you make us bigger, Alan?
I didn't.
Okay.
Maybe I hit a button by mistake.
It's okay. It's all right.
All right, there you go.
It's all good. But yeah, so keep that in mind. And that way you can be open. You can hear all kinds of views, and you're still, your mind may be changed, but you're not swayed by other opinions. Also not swayed necessarily by propaganda. There's a lot of propaganda on social media, and propaganda in the form of advertising, in the form of various ends of the news spectrum, wherever. And I think get a lot of views, form your own opinion.
Yeah, I completely agree with you, Chris. I think that's one thing I really like about your channel and just about you in general, that disagreement is a great thing.
Well, one thing I don't like about my channel is getting things wrong. When I get things wrong. When I get things wrong.
Time in one show.
Yeah, there's my track. Dude, I slept like 3 hours last night. I don't know why. It was not a good whatever. Anyways, so I'm a little, I can't, the Tom Hanks one, that was a total. It's funny.
I thought you were trying to make a point by calling him Tom Hanks.
Okay. I thought it was a joke.
Yes. Well, there you go. Yeah. But anyways, your next question, Alan, please feel free to add if you would like, because Alan's a great source too. I love that.
Sure. By the way, I did find your website from 10 years ago. Here you go. I mean, that's totally you.
No,
is
that's
that
not me.
You?
Yeah, that's got to be you. Look at that. That's 10 years ago. You
Hudson Chen.
Yeah, let's see. You're into chess, backgammon, Texas Hold'em, and Pusheen. Do you have an affinity?
You still love Pusheen?
No, I have no clue what this is. This is slander.
Okay, that's great, Alan. Thanks.
All right. My next question, it's a little bit similar to the first, but how did you get to where you are today? For both of you, actually.
Real simple. I read a lot of books. You're in college, and I am a college dropout. Yet I have written a book that's required reading in college. Certain film schools use my book, The Ultimate Film Festival Survival Guide. And here's what I realized. I was broke. I worked at restaurants and fast food when I was a teenager. I even worked at a video store. So I'd work a video store during the week, restaurants on weekends, and I had a newspaper route. And I could barely afford to pay for college, which was at the time, I think like $6,000 a semester. That was a lot. So finally I was like, well, I'm going for a career in film. And my mother came out to the West Coast from Michigan to visit her brother, my uncle Mike. We went to the West Coast, and I asked her, I said, Mom, I really want to go to USC Film School, but I can't afford it. Can we go to the campus? I went to the campus of USC, and I walked on campus, and here's all the rich kids. And that, I mean, going to USC, it is crazy expensive. Okay. I went to the campus bookstore, and I brought $200, and I bought all the books I could afford with $200, because I thought to myself, if I can't afford to go to the school, I can at least read the same books that the rich kids going to the school are reading. And I couldn't afford to buy them all. So I wrote down the names of the books I could not afford at that time. I read every single book. I thought, if I can't afford to go there, I can still read the same books. And I realized I was paying a lot of money in film school to read a book and then regurgitate the contents of the book to the professor as proof that I'd read that book. But I was an avid reader as a kid. I read nonfiction books about filmmaking. I read fiction like Frank Herbert's Dune. And so 2 years into college, after being broke constantly, I dropped out and read all the books. So I feel like I have met people who are college dropouts, who are geniuses. I met people with college educations that were trapped in academia that are some of the dumbest people I know, because they can't relate to normal, everyday people, everyday blue collar, normal people. So I feel like life experience is important, and you can be self-educated. Quick fact you may not know: Quentin Tarantino dropped out of school in the 8th grade. He is a brilliant writer. His film scripts, when you read them, are like poetry. One thing about Quentin, he can't spell to save his life, but that's it.
Yeah, I've heard of that story. Yeah.
But he dropped out in 8th grade, and I mean, Woody Allen went to school, whatever you think of Woody Allen, he went to college for philosophy, not even film. And he applied that to his filmmaking. So, I'm a believer in being self-educated. If you're interested in something, you will soak up knowledge. You'll read books, you'll listen to podcasts, you'll listen to DVD commentary, and learn about film. And that, to me, is the best education, because you're never done. When you get out of school, you should still be learning. You should still be reading books, listening to podcasts. Steven Spielberg famously watches movies all the time. He wants to know what's happening, and he's a master storyteller. So that's what I would say. And I don't know if I forget what the question was. Alan, do you have any
comments? How you got to where you are today?
Yeah, that's and also, I don't know how to do something. I write it down. I find out how to do it. I've written several books. I don't know how to write a book. I figured it out. And how I did that was real simple. I did math. Most books are between 50 and 60,000 words. Now, you post on social media, right?
Not too much, no.
Not too much. Okay. I realized,
good for you.
Yeah, good for you. It's a waste of time. And I realized, like, if it is 50,000 words for a book, and I write 1,000 words a day, I can write a book in 50 days if I write a minimum of 1,000 words a day. So I wrote a detailed outline, and then every day I would get up at 5 a.m. I would write until 8 or 9 a.m. and I would write a minimum of 1,000 words. Some days I'd write 3,000 words. And in a month or two, I would have enough material for a book. Many of us get in big fights online on Facebook, wherever. I've seen people do these long diatribes in the comments section, very angry, fighting with people. You could direct that energy towards a long-term project. So everything I've ever done I began not knowing how to do it, and I came up with a process. No one writes a book. You write a sentence, then a paragraph, then a page, then 1,000 words. You write a small part of a big thing. You don't get in shape on day one. You start by walking a mile, then 5 miles, then 10 miles. Every big project that seems insurmountable, you break it down to its smallest part and just do the small part. When you quantify the small part, you end up like, holy shit, I wrote a book. Now your first book is probably going to suck, but that's okay. You're learning. So that's my thing, is break a big project down to small parts. No one writes a book. No one makes a movie. You break it down to its smallest parts and do a little bit every day.
Yeah, that's really, really good advice, because it's also similar to, because I've made one short film so far.
Congrats.
Yeah, it was for a club. It was just kind of fun.
That's cool.
And it was like practice, because I wanted to feel what it was like to work in a group, first and foremost. Yeah. And I was doing a lot of the work, primarily because I think I was most interested in what we're making. But I covered the directing part, and I also wrote it. But it's very silly. It's very silly stuff. If you want to watch it, it's on the PCC Film Club Instagram.
Email me the link. Email it to me.
I'm not really happy with the final cut. There was 2
Well,
cuts.
put the link in the private chat. We'll look at it now. How long is it?
It's like 2 minutes, I think. It's like 2
Put
minutes.
the link in the private chat. But Alan, anything to add?
Yeah, I mean, you just mentioned you're not proud of it, but the reality is you got it done, which is more than what most people can say. And this feeling of, oh, it's not perfect. Well, identify what's not perfect, and then think about the next film and what you can do to make the imperfect perfect. But you just got to keep making movies.
What's your next question? We have a lot of chat comments. I'm surprised people have not left. People have not left. This is great.
I can't see the questions. How do I check?
Oh, I'll show you that. I'll get to the questions. Don't worry about that. What's your questions? We'll wrap up on that. Then we'll watch your movie and we'll go to comments.
All right. Okay, so my next question here is, has the internet and social media in any way changed the way you approach your reviews?
Oh, that's a good question. It has, in the sense that I try to, it's really difficult to express a complex idea in a short number of words. And I feel like social media is good practice for expressing yourself quickly. So I do try to condense and try to speak more broadly about films, especially when I talk about indie movies, because I really want people to diversify their media diet. If you only watch Disney, Marvel, and Star Wars movies, that's not a good diet of film. You need to diversify your media diet with watching smaller movies, everything from Trauma, Full Moon Entertainment, to low budget horror, to foreign cinema, Indian movies, Korean films, whatnot. So I say my whole mission, my whole not so secret agenda is go see the big movies. Sure, everyone does, but consider once a week maybe checking out some smaller indie film so you can have an appreciation for other types of stuff out there, because mainstream movies are in general the same kind of slop, but indie movies offer an opportunity to see something different and in some ways more profound. Alan, any thoughts?
I try to stay away from it when it comes to my opinions about a movie, because I try not to get swayed by reading something and thinking, oh yeah, I want to have my opinion about it. And so I kind of take that approach to social media. It's a great way to get your thoughts out there onto open. it's also a great networking platform. Just finding people who want to do the things you want to do. And I think if I were to give you any advice where you are now is, you're build your network. You're in the prime position right now to build a network. If you want to get into movies, and you have fellow students who are making movies, volunteer to help out. Just offer your time, because this is the time that you could do all that for free and give your services for free, because after you graduate, you're going to want money from them.
So let's say if you try to make an independent film or even start a YouTube channel of your own, what's some advice you would give them beyond just like networking? I'm assuming a lot of it is just dedication and time.
Yeah, I would fail a lot, and it never stops. I failed today. I failed my audience. I wasn't awake enough. I was tired.
Oh, poor Chris.
I had enough coffee. Hey, no one will beat me up more than myself. But I would say failure is the best teacher, which is oddly, it's the lesson of The Last Jedi. You just need to fail. So keep doing it, fail, and be critical of yourself. It's the only way you get better. So, and then also, if you can appear on other people's shows, that helps up your game, and just keep doing it. Do it. Don't worry. And then every time you do it, look for one way to improve. I mean, Alan and I have been doing this for 3 years, and Alan finally got a good mic. He sounds great.
Yes.
Alan's got a great voice, but he sounds great.
We love it.
So it's like every time you do it, go, oh, well, what can I do to improve? So I changed my lighting, my set, every day it's like, well, we should try to do this better. So how we got to where we are is every day we kind of look at how can we improve what we do and make it better. And it'll never be perfect. But it's also, I think, part of the charm of doing this is it's not perfect. People are tired of the overproduced TV where everything is perfect. People are too cautious. It's rough and tumble here. We make mistakes on the fly. Obviously today, a huge number of mistakes.
Oh, poor Chris.
More than I usually allow myself. But you just move on and correct yourself in the moment, and don't be afraid to fail. It's okay.
Yeah. And then my next question here is, what do you think is the biggest challenge facing independent filmmakers, independent reviewers, just in general?
Making money.
Yeah.
It's really difficult to make money. So I would say that it's a hobby until you're making money enough to live on. And it might be a hobby for a decade. It was John Waters who said in a quote, I'm going to paraphrase it, try to do something for 10 years. If you see no success after 10 years, you might consider something else. But you need to try for a decade toward your goal. And then if you begin to see success, then you're on the right path. But you can't try for a year and then go, I tried, I'm not going to make it. No, it's your hobby for a decade. And then when you begin to see some level of success, I got paid for this, I made this contact, hey, so-and-so liked my movie, then, that gives you fuel to keep going. But this is not a job for me. This is my purpose. So I think I will never retire. I mean, Paul Chato is in his 70s. He has a YouTube channel. He's still doing it. I don't think I'll ever retire. I'll just keep doing this, and I might do YouTube less because I've got some film projects that are going to require me to take some time off from YouTube. I'm trying to work on that. Just never give up. There you go.
Probably having a balanced schedule, right?
Yeah, you got to have a balanced schedule. Like I said, that's why when writing a book, get up at 5 a.m., write for 3 hours, go to your job at 9 a.m. There's a very famous attorney, I forget his name, who did that, became a renowned screenwriter whose name escapes me. But that was how he did it. He got up at 5 a.m., went to bed at 9 p.m. every night, got up at 5 a.m., wrote his script for 3 hours, then went to work at 9 a.m., in bed at 9 p.m. That's it's called discipline. And I hate to say this, I'm not saying this about you, but what I've seen from a new generation coming up, they are undisciplined and kind of disappointing. In order to reach any goal, it's going to take pain, no gain, right? Like you gotta be consistent and discipline will be the key. Consistency and discipline.
Hey, let me throw my 2 cents in.
Please, Alan.
In terms of becoming a good independent filmmaker, story. Learn to tell stories in ways that are engaging to audiences, and then learn to tell your stories.
Mhm.
Look, if you have a good story, it doesn't matter what you shoot it on, whether it's your cell phone or a professional camera. The story is the thing that people will connect with no matter what medium you use. And so ask yourself, what are the stories that you've seen in the past? What movies, what books have you read that you connect with? Why do you connect with it? You know, what is it about that resonates with you? And then what you're trying to do then is to replicate that on your own and to say, oh, here's a story in my mind. How can I get people to lock in on that? And the reason I say this is because I've been doing improv comedy for, gosh, the mid 90s. And that's been my that's been what that is what I do is I step on stage with nothing and I have to tell a story. And over the years, over the decades of doing that, I've just learned these are the stories that I connect with, and I think the audience will connect with it. And I have to make it up like, you know, within seconds of the start of the scene.
Let me
So,
show you a short story right now. I was at AMC Burbank 16 last night, and here's the story I told. It's very short. Now, this is something I haven't seen in a very long time. I'm at the AMC Burbank 16 in Burbank. Here, of course, you've got the Mission Impossible promo there with Tom Cruise. Very excited about that. But here's something I have not seen in forever. The escalators at the AMC Burbank 16 are working. Both
Oh my God.
escalators are working. I have not seen that in so long. Both escalators, folks. Look right there. You almost never see it. I can't believe it.
see, I'm engaged. I've been going there for how many months or how many years?
They never work.
The up
They never
works.
work. They rarely. So there you go. All right, next question. Let's go. We have a lot of comments now. You're getting a lot of love, Hudson.
That's good to hear. My next question is, would you recommend something like college? And would that get you further, or is it just purely like talent based for film?
There's no formula. You can go to college and get the degree in film and never make a movie.
Mm-hmm.
Or you can, I do feel that the negative, and college is prohibitively expensive. And also I've done a lot of hiring in my time. So you know my story, college dropout, self-educated. But if you don't have the drive, it doesn't even matter. And I'm told teachers are teaching high school students that don't know how to write sentences, that don't know, that are incapable of reading an entire book front to back, not Cliff Notes, not Chat GPT, give me the summary of Shakespeare's whatever, like actually reading the thing. And they're not disciplined. And we're losing that. Technology has made us dumber. So I think college is good for connections. You meet people, it's good for the social aspect if you can afford it. And you may find people that you'll end up working with later in your career. What it's not good at is creating this bubble of academia where you learn the way people talk to each other in college is not how people really interact in real life, right? I mean, I organically have like a very diverse group of friends, but it's only because we all like movies. That's the one thing all my friends have in common is like, I love film. You love film. You love comics. Let's talk about that, you know? But people think about diversity in kind of a weird way that I think is not authentic, but it really just, you connect with people, through things that you like. So I think college is good for meeting people, connections, but it teaches you bad habits in terms of not teaching you ways of communicating that people don't actually do in real life. Like, you know, I could go on, but
Yeah,
that's
this is how you should do it, and then they'll tell you how you should tell your story, what's in your story. Oh, you can't say that, you can't do this. That's the worst thing college could do, is to tell you what not to do or what you should do. Also, I live near Dodge College, Chapman University, and yeah, here's an interview with if you unblock that ad, an interview with Graham Sibley. I put in the chat, but the people I've talked to who have gone to film school, number one response to that question is, why did you go, or what is the best thing you got out of college? And it was always connections. It was always the people that you surrounded yourself with. When you go to film school, they make you make a movie, and everyone works on everyone else's movie. And what you're doing is you're building that network by doing that. And so when one person breaks out and gets a real job, oftentimes they'll go back to their college friends and say, hey, hey, I need someone to do this or someone to do that. And it's just a way to help each other out and get each other to find their first gig. A rising tide lifts all boats. That's essentially what's happening when you go to college. Rarely does anyone ever talk about the class they took or the teacher that they had. It's always about their fellow students and building that connection.
And Alan put the link in the private chat. The story on the Film Threat website is being a working actor in independent film with Graham Sibley. That is the interview from 2020. So are we wrapping up? Because you have a lot of questions.
No, that was my final question on the list, because there was a lot of crossovers, and you guys kind of nailed some of the rest of the questions that I had on the list.
Oh,
also.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Okay. Hey, let's go. Can you read this here? Can you read that?
Can the new Alan read super chats?
From BMO Better.
BMO Better. Thanks, BMO.
Would you like to read them?
Where do I find them?
Can you see them?
Can you see them?
Because he's on his phone. He's on his phone. That's my only thing.
Yeah,
you can read them, obviously. Let's start from the top. You ready?
Okay. Sure.
From
Wrong
Bad
career, bro. I don't.
From Bad Mash. Read the person's name.
Shooting to be a director or like something that sophisticated by any means, but just somewhere in film, because it is my passion.
Yeah.
There are a lot of jobs in film.
Read this one. Help him, Alan, if you need help.
Okay, from Krog Based for 20 Swedish krona. Can you read the comment?
Logan's hold hands posters, copies of Schindler's List.
I don't know what that means, but
I'm not sure what that means either.
The Brujo for 10 Australian.
If you guys do meet up at McDonald's one day, the ice cream cones are on me, Hudson and Chris. Thanks.
Better yet, go to meet at Dairy Queen.
Yeah,
meet at Dairy Queen. Is there a Dairy Queen around?
Not in Pasadena. There's one in Burbank.
From 200 Watt Studios for 2.
Be careful of Honey producers. Yeah.
Honey producers.
Honey. Yes. Let's see. Bill Buttlicker for 40. I think that's rupees.
Be Michael Scott and make your own threat level midnight.
Yeah. Michael Scott. Yeah. ADL 1992.
Recent film school grad here. I fear I'm permanently screwed. Any advice?
Ah.
Probably not from me.
Well, I will say that everyone wants to be the director. There are so many other jobs in film. So I would make a movie, any movie at this point,
Mhm.
and look for other people to collaborate with. Filmmaking is a team sport. That's important to know. It's a team sport. The quarterback, you might consider the director. The wide receivers are like your actors because they like to showboat. The producer is like the coach, orchestrating everything. So remember, filmmaking is a team sport.
Yeah. Also, Hollywood is not the dream. No one is going to come and save you. So you've got to do it on your own, and you got to figure it out, especially from the beginning here.
Yeah.
ADL is 24.
Does Hudson want to be a director, a producer, DOP? What side of the filmmaking process does he want to pursue? I'm not really sure because right now I'm just learning, of course. I guess one of the more interesting things that I'm trying to do right now is just study movies, just watching a lot of media in general. I'm currently going through a lot of old classics. So yeah.
That's
What are you
great.
looking for when you say study the classics? What are you looking for? What do you
just
what
like
do you
what
study?
makes a movie great, and just also what I like, what I would want to make if I were to make something. Inspiration, I guess, in a sense.
Okay, good. Krog base for 50 Swedish krona.
Thank you so much for reading my chat, kid. Pursue your dreams. Also, Wolverine, Logan poster, Schindler's List poster, holding hands, hands things.
I didn't know that. Oh my gosh!
That's
So
right.
the Logan poster and the Schindler's List poster are the same. Yeah, posters rip off from each other. The concepts for posters are a lot of rip-offs. So that's crazy.
I love your spunk.
From ADL,
something completely different in the UK.
I love your spunk.
Yeah.
X-Ray Girl's brother.
Yeah.
From Davina Duckworth. Well, I'm not sure about that, but there we go. Hudson, you did a great job. I'm giving you an A++. Plus, you rolled with the punches. You showed up. I said, you got to be on camera. We want to see you.
Yeah.
You asked good questions, and I gave long-winded answers. I'm going to apologize for that. But you could probably distill my answer into very short thoughts, but I hope it helps you.
Yeah. And I hope you get college credit for doing this. So.
Yeah. You getting college credit?
Yeah.
Good. Well, email me back. Let me know if you got an A.
Yeah, I also sent you the short film in your email if you're interested in watching it.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well,
how short is it?
It's like 2 minutes, I believe.
Okay.
Oh, I don't have access to that email account on this computer. I don't think.
If you could, if there's any way you could put in the chat, we could
put in the private chat. Put the link in the private chat.
Yeah. So he's
1 second.
Sure.
Yeah. He's got to get the URL.
Well, there you go. There you go.
Let me see if I can send it to myself.
Young people.
All right. We've got to wrap up, Alan. We got to wrap up.
Yeah.
We got to wrap up. But hey, Hudson, it was great talking to you. We will watch your career with great interest.
Thank you.
I'm quoting Emperor Palpatine, which he said that to Anakin.
Yeah. Start by asking yourself, why do you love Pusheen so much? And then kind of build the thing from there.
Yeah. Why do you
also found another Hudson Chen who's a master Rubik's Cube.
Share it, Alan. Share.
Yeah, shoot.
Yeah.
No, I already got rid of it. So
okay. All right. Hudson, thank you so much. Congrats. Yeah. And again, we'll be paying attention to your career, and you'll remember this moment. You came on the show.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Talk to us. I hope we inspired you. All right. Where can people follow you on social media?
I only have a letterbox that I post stupid comments with for movies, but that's
Smart.
really about it.
So you're on Letterboxd Hudson Chen. Look you up.
I have a different username. I'm not sure
What?
if I want to share it, but yeah.
Okay, good. All right. You're smart to avoid social media. You're already ahead of most of your peers. I'm gonna say. Thank you so much. Take care. Have a great weekend.
Yeah. Thank you, Chris. Thank
See
you.
ya.
And
See you
Alan.
later.
Well,
Bye.
thank you. You're welcome.